Welcome to this review and unboxing of the Ramos W17. Just picked it up from the post office. Got it with a little leather case. And as you can see, this is the box. Chinese signs on it, but I think it's a nice retail box. It feels good. As you can see, dual core says here in the corner. Nothing more around here. Some barcodes. On the back, information in Chinese. Too bad. Better if it would be English. But I think we can live with that. So let's open up the box. The inside of the cover has a nice color. Pay $1 extra for that. Just kidding. Here we have the tablet. Let's lay that aside for a second. Inside the box we have the charger, solid charger, US plug. Feels very solid again, heavy, so doesn't feel like some chargers that will burn the instant that you put them into the wall. And a simple micro SD cable, nothing more, nothing less. Some quick start guide and Chinese. Some other small card that I can't read, and a warranty card, which I hope I will not need. So let's put the box aside. Let's see. Get back to the tablet. Again here, as you can see, the box has a nice finish, so they did put some effort into it, which is nice to see, but if you pay a lot extra for it, it's not worth. But actually the tablet was quite cheap. Yeah, it was not expensive for a dual core tablet. I will come back to the specs in a few seconds, but first let's take a look around the tablet. You can see the brand. It says Ramos, but that's just the type name, I think, of the tablets that this company makes. Feels solid. Screen is just in the same height as the rest of the tablets, which is nice. Camera here. Let's go to this side. The DC in, the micro USB, and the headphone jack, and a small reset button. On the top we got nothing. On the other side we got a power, a volume up, a volume down, and a micro TF or SD card, whatever you want to call it. Let's see the back. The back feels nice. It got a texture on it. I don't know if you can see it through this crappy camera. I think you can. It has some texture on it. Feels very nice. Got a speaker. Got 4 small feet. I think that's for laying it on the table. Doesn't slide. No, it won't slide. So that's nice. And I think here we got the microphone in on the front, and here on the back, designed by Ramos, made in China, and with a serial number, etc. So back with you in a second with the specs. Welcome back. While booting, let's take a quick look at the specs of the tablet. The tablet has a 7-inch capacitive touchscreen with a resolution of 1024 x 600. It's running Android 4.0.3. It got a AIM-Logic Cortex A8 dual-core processor, which seems to be clocked at 1.5 GHz. It got 1 GB of DDR3 RAM, 16 GB storage, option to expand the memory up to 32 GB or add a card of 32 gigs. It got built-in Wi-Fi, BG and N, and external dongles are supported for 3G. The camera has a front-facing camera which is 0.3 megapixels, and on the back of the tablet there is no camera, but it seems there is a version with camera out there. It got no GPS, no Bluetooth. It weighs about 520 grams. The dimensions are 250 mils times 181 mils times 11 mils. So it's just some above 1 centimeters of thickness. That's about it for the specs. Let's take a look at the software of this tablet. There it is. And we're here with the software of the tablet. In the meantime, I updated the tablet with a custom ROM that was on the internet. It brings the Google Market and gives this new charging icon. It gives some tweaks in battery life, and probably processor is used better, more performance. So that's about what I changed from the stock ROM to. I will place a link where you can update into the YouTube video or in this description of this video. As you can see, the image is very fluent. It runs way better than the A10 tablets out there. When you're swiping a lot on the A10, it gets a little bit less snappy. It is snappy, but this is way snappier than the A10, but it's due to dual core, I assume. I took the liberty to install a few benchmarks onto the tablet, as well as I did install the custom ROM as said. The ROM came with Super User, so that's quite nice for some apps or some things you want to have. It got a Play Store in this version, the calendar, but no Gmail yet. Gtalk is on there, but that's about it. And there is a Chinese app still on here. Let's see what it is. It's a Super User app. Okay, it's just a file explorer. This ROM came from a Chinese forum, so that's why the Chinese apps is on there. So let's take a look around to the settings first, and then take a little tour around the benchmarks that are there. Let's first turn on the Wi-Fi. Data usage, so that's nice. Sound information, display. The display, as said, has 1024 x 600. Actually,
we will see later in the benchmarks. I think it's a little bit less, but maybe that's depending on the bar here under here, but I'm not sure about that. The storage, it's a 16 gigabyte version. It got 1 gig for the apps, or more than 800 MB for the apps. It got 13 gigs left for storage, so it's a total of 2 gigs for the operating system. The battery, it's charged only by now, but I'm not sure how long it will last. My guess would be that it would take an hour or three and a half, 4, depending on what you're doing. If you're playing games, it will be more again to the 3 than to the 4 hours. But as said, I'm not sure, and Wi-Fi does a great deal too. Let's go to the Wi-Fi and connect. It's now connecting to the wireless network. Network is not that good. Most tablets here that I received the last times got at least 2 bars, but this one only got 1 bar, so that's not that great. So I'm not sure how it will perform. I'm a great part away from the router, so range is not great. As you can see, it's connecting again and obtaining again. It's very hard to get a connection for the device, and now it connected finally. So my Desire and my other tablet, my Transformer, have about the same range, maybe one part more than this tablet does. So now let's take a look at the Antutu benchmark first. Let's start a test. Back with you when the test is over. So now it's testing the last 2 parts of the process with SD card write and read. It did some GPU, some CPU tests, etc. So we will see the score in a few seconds, I assume. The read speed of the SD card, and it should be done any second now. There it is. It got a total score of 5,683. I had a little bit higher and a little bit lower scores. I think that's just the average, about the average of the tablet. The SD reading speed is low this time. It was higher. It has been 50 plus today, so probably it should be higher than this. I'm not sure what's causing it to be lower now, but the graphics of the 2D are better now. So maybe it's the benchmark, maybe it's the tablet. I'm not quite sure about that. Let's see it to score chart, and as you can see, it's at place 4, just under the Galaxy S2, and in my opinion that's great, because the Galaxy 2 is still a reasonable high-end phone. I know that the 3 is coming, but the 2 still does its thing after a year, so I don't think that's just bad. It's nowhere near the Prime, of course, but I think with some tweaks it should get near to the Nexus or whatever, so that's great to hear. And it's just running at 1.2 while the processor can run at about 1.5. So Now let's take a look at another benchmark I installed. Let's take a look at the Quadrant Standard benchmark. And let's run a full benchmark. And again, I'm back with you when it's finished. Okay, and as you can see, the benchmark is done. It's now sending its results and taking them back. Let's hope it works due to the not so good Wi-Fi connection. And then let's compare it with the rest. The device has a score of 3013. Earlier today I had 2 times the score and the 3080 points, so it's a little below average, but as said, I'm not sure how that comes. It's way above the Galaxy Tab and the Galaxy Nexus, as you can see. So it runs great. The CPU has a score of 5000, the memory of 2700, the I/O 5200, the 2D 84 and the 3D 1719, and it gives a total score of 3013 as said before. So let's get back and let's take a look at the system information. As you can see, it's running Android 4.0.3, as you haven't noticed. The fingerprint is a Samsung Galaxy Tab, I think. Should run most games. The maximum frequency is 1.2. The minimum is 96 on 2 cores, I think. So it should run reasonable with its battery when it's on the low frequency, but we're never sure about that. Total memory is seen here. Then the image, the resolution is 1024 x 552. As said, I'm not sure how this is counted, but I think it's true. The GPU is a Mali MP 400 MP. I'm not sure what that MP stands for, but I think this has something to do with the 2-core Mali GPU that's in there. 8 texture units, so it is running great. So it does a lot more than the single core GPUs. Sensors, there's 1 sensor in this ROM. In the standard ROM there are 3 sensors, but I'm not sure what you can do with them. All seems to be working, so I'm not worried that it will not this ROM will cause any problems on that. And then we have Linpack here. Let's run that benchmark. Takes a few seconds. It got a score of 40 mFlops. So let's see the top 10. It got a score of 40, and their scores about 200 in here. So what we see, it seems quite low. Top devices, let's look at them that way. Yeah, as I see, it's running quite low then. The HTC Ace, it all got more flops than this one. Here we are, a Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1, 56, 35. Okay, it seems about average when you compare it with this one, but I'm not sure why this is way higher. I also did run a browser mock. It will not work due to the changing Wi-Fi connection here. So it tried it somewhere else, and it came till 107,000, which is quite high. It's higher than the Nexus, the standard Nexus ROM. It's lower than the Prime, but it's still a good, really good score for such a cheap tablet. So the multi-core of AIM logic does show off here in the together with the Android 4 firmware, so that's quite good for the web browsing experience, I assume. The web browsing overall goes really smooth, not a lot of lag. Video files are played good. I cannot show you them at the moment, but the video files that I tried were working. The only video that I didn't get to work was the bird test, but that's, yeah, that causes problems on more devices, as I heard. So overall, I'm really pleased with the tablet. Gives a decent performance. OTG works. Just tested it. It got a great feeling. The texture on the back of the tablet feels quite good. The sound seems to be quite good. I hope there will be a black version, and I hope they remove this brand here on the front, or make it look different, because I don't like that much about it. But overall, I think it's a really nice tablet for a really nice price. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions regarding this tablet or any other tablet, please ask. Thanks for watching.